So let's talk a little bit about the Intergovernmental Panel. What is your history with that? How did that happen?
Yeah, so the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, we had a large project to look at how soils can help mitigate carbon dioxide in the air, or mitigate climate change. And so I was one of the lead authors for the agriculture chapter on climate change in '07 and the 2014 report.
And what iteration of the panel was this?
So the '07 was the fourth assessment. That's when Al Gore was pushing the climate change, and so the 27 report received a share of the Nobel Peace Prize. So Al Gore received half of it, and the IPCC received the other half of that, shared that.
And so when you say you were the lead author of that section related primarily to ag, what does that mean? What does that responsibility entail?
Yeah, so there's actually three reports: the science of climate change, impacts and adaptation, and then the third report, which is one I was involved in, was the ag chapter on how its potential to mitigate. So we were looking at, we're not developing new science, but reviewing the science and synthesizing it to look at how agriculture and forestry could help mitigate climate change. So we were looking at basically carbon sequestration in soils, which is my area of research. What's the potential? How do you manage soils to increase carbon content to help offset carbon emissions?
Well, let's talk a little bit about the role of ag and climate change then. You know, what is a fair depiction of the role of ag in climate change and greenhouse gas production?
Right. Traditionally, ag has been high or intense cultivation tillage, but we're seeing now, well, last 30 or 40 years, a shift to less disturbance, no-till, reduced tillage agriculture, and that's really critical. And with that and the opportunities to intensify and diversify the ag systems, there's an opportunity to sequester carbon. We know that carbon sequestration, getting more carbon, organic matter in the soil, is generally good. And so it's, it's an overused term, but it truly is accurate. It's really a win-win situation, because if I can get more carbon in the soil, then I improve that soil, and now the term is soil health. I make it healthier, more productive. I've benefited the environment, and by in making that soil healthier, I make it more climate resilient. It can hold more water, it can handle the intense rainstorm events that we've had, and then when we have these dry periods, it can supply that water for growing the crop. And so it makes it more palatable to, when I talk to people about, ag can play a role in climate change, it's not, we're doing this thing for the climate, we're doing it for the whole system, right? It makes it viable for the producer, it makes it viable for the agriculture soils and the environment at the same time.